In this video, I'm going to talk about the 3 long-term habits of a builder and how it ties perfectly to tact planning. So there are really a total of 6 key habits that any builder must follow if they really want to build projects remarkably, and it ties into tact, so you're going to love this. Going back to tact theory, we always have time on the top and location on the left. And what we see here is, let's say that you had 3 zones, and you have your first wagon, your second wagon, your third, and then your fourth. That what they'll do is that they'll stagger on a tact time, and that means they'll start on a tact time and finish on a tact time, and it will look like this. And typically, and by the way, this is wagon 1, 1, 1. That means you have good trade flow. The shape that comes to pass looks like this, right? So it looks like this parallelogram. The reason that I want to show you this is that the wagons inside this need to be prepared, okay? And the overall structure of this phase in this work needs to be planned. So there's a really good way to do that. Let me show you that right now. So if you have a phase, and I'm just going to draw the shape instead of the individual wagons, as we've talked about before, a phase in a tact plan will always have the sequence. So I'll just go ahead and write this down. Sequence, okay? It will always have your tact time, and it will always have your zones on the left, okay? But it will also have a line of balance, meaning this is the speed at which the phase and the train is going. At the end, you'll always have a buffer. The end of the phase will always have a milestone, okay? And there's a couple of key things that we'll do with that. So with this phase, we can always validate the sequence with a pull plan. We can always validate the line of balance with our calculator that we have on the LeanTakt.com website. And that calculator will tell you, according to different zoning strategies, how fast you can go. You'll always have a buffer which absorbs the risks of the phase, and then that targets the milestone. So the 3 key habits that I always recommend for builders is number 1, and this is long-term habits. Is number 1, at least try to target 3 months ahead of time what's called a pull plan, okay? And what you'll do is, if this is a macro level phase, okay, and let's say that this is what you promised, you will want to do a pull plan that confirms the sequence and confirms the line of balance and tells you that you can gain the buffers, okay? So this pull plan is a normal industry pull plan, but it does it through multiple zones, and you're analyzing that trade flow, okay? If you, at every phase, do a pull plan 3 months ahead, you're going to be set. So whenever you see tact plans and you have either the macro or the norm, typically this is shown on the macro, but you should have this little section on the top that shows the different pull plan milestones, so that you're automatically triggered to do the pull plan at the right time for a phase that might be out ahead for you on the project, okay? That's habit number 1. Habit number 2, which is key for me, is if you have a wagon in here, and this is a high-risk feature of work, 3 weeks ahead, you're going to want to do what's called a pre-construction meeting, okay? This is where you take the owner, the inspectors, the stakeholders, the project team, the trade partner, superintendent, PM, and foreman, whoever needs to be there, and you make sure that everything is gathered to do that work right, and that quality expectations are set, and that we now have a quality checklist or visual that can be used to install the work. This is going to prep all of the work for each of the wagons, okay, is your pre-con meeting. And this happens 3 weeks ahead of the work, and that is habit number 2, okay? Habit number 3, and I'm just going to draw it like this, is to always do what's called look-ahead planning, okay, with your 6-week make-ready look-ahead plan. That's habit number 3. That's where you go through and you, with your trade partners, look at the plan out 6 weeks ahead and attempt to find problems little roadblocks in that duration, and to remove the roadblocks before you get there, and to also make work ready, and to align material procurement, equipment, and resources and information to these dates. So if you have these 3 habits, your pull plan, which makes sure you have the right sequence, line of balance, and overall plan. Number 2, your pre-con meeting, where 3 weeks ahead you plan for the wagons themselves and queue up the trade partner properly. And then look ahead planning, where you're always looking out 6 weeks ahead for roadblocks and the alignment of materials and other resources. Then you will be in the habit of queuing up work properly on your project site. Now, you're probably thinking, wait a minute, these are the 3 habits of long-term planning. What are the 3 habits of a builder? Number 1, every day you spend 30 minutes studying your drawings. Number 2, you spend 30 minutes in your schedule. And number 3, you do a field walk or a reflection walk every day. Now, here's why I mentioned that. These are the 3 daily habits of a builder. These are the 3 long-term habits of a builder. And when you go study the drawings, you are going to hopefully see things that will help you plan work out ahead. When you are in your schedule, hopefully you are doing your look ahead planning and making work ready. When you do your field walk, hopefully you're seeing things out ahead that will help you with your schedule and to keep the flow on the project site. Every habit that I've listed, and you could actually, I don't want to make this too complex, but really you could say this is habit number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These key habits of a builder. 30 minutes in the drawing every day, 30 minutes in your schedule, do a field walk, always do pull plans out ahead, always do your quality pre-construction meetings, and always do your look ahead planning. If you do this, you will set up work to succeed, and you will win on your project, and you will create flow. Now let me talk about something. A lot of times with our clients, they will experience a delay. And 9 times out of 10, we can do it just by rezoning. But sometimes there's been delay after delay after delay, and it's really close. And I will always anchor back to, hey, got to have the pull plans for every phase to get that buy-in with the trade partners. You've got to really focus here. Really set up each of your trade partners 100% to be successful from a quality standpoint. Build it right the first time. And you've got to do your look-ahead planning. When we do simulations that show us how to interact with the Takt production system, and we're actually doing that really cool simulation from Marco Biniger and Janos Louis from Takting, we always find that the teams that go the fastest focus on one word, and it starts with a Q. Quality. Quality. If you install it right the first time, you can go fast. Quality isn't just a quality system. Quality is a scheduling system, and it will enable you to go fast. So do not forget, for every phase that has a sequence, line of balance, buffer, and a milestone, do not forget to pull plan it 3 months ahead, to do pre-con meetings for every critical wagon 3 weeks ahead, and to do look-ahead planning out every 6 weeks. If you pair that with studying the drawings, being in the schedule, and doing a field walk every day, you will be a builder with consistency, stability, and respect on your project site. I hope you've enjoyed this video. On we go.